Hello everyone, a very good afternoon to all of you. So this is the second time that we are doing this stream. We started in the early morning and then there was some technical issue that came due to that. Now we have to do the stream again. Sorry for any inconvenience for the delay that have happened. Now, in the today's video, we are going to take up the entire analysis of the Hindu newspaper. We'll take all the articles along with the background as well as way forward. And one more thing, you can also download the explainer synoptic notes of this session from our Telegram channel. Link for the Telegram is given in description box in YouTube. You can visit Telegram from that link and download the PDF copy of the synoptic notes. Now let's start with the analysis, and I expect that video is clear as well as sound audio is also clearly audible. Guys, please comment in the comment box if there is any issue so that I can know. Now moving on, first of all, let's take overview of entire newspaper. Now this overview plays a very important role because here by this overview I intend to tell you that how to skim through the newspapers and how to identify the type of articles that you have to read and in which section. Now on the first page we have this article, 14 states yet to join education scheme. So this article is talking about the PM Usha. So we will take this particular article for the exam and we will see all the relevant information that we need to see here. Then further moving on, Manipur officials told to quit social media groups. Nothing much important for the exam has been given in this particular article, so no need to go too much in detail. Then we have these advertisements, city section, AI camera, anti-drone systems in place. Nothing is important much in this article for the exam, just talking about that the Delhi is gearing up for the Independence Day. And one more thing, that city section largely contains those type of articles which are specific to a region. If you are having the different edition, Bengaluru edition, Chennai edition, this section will be different in your paper. However, much important articles we don't have here. Then guys, further moving on in this particular direction, we have these other articles. Again, the regional issues etc have been given. Much important things have not been given here, and again we are facing the similar kind of problem. Just give me 1 minute to resolve that. Okay, then further moving on, we will directly guys be reaching to the editorial section, because till the editorial section we don't have much relevant articles here. Okay, so we'll directly reach to editorial section, and in editorial, first article that we have here, Pakistan's political roller coaster continues. Nothing much important. The article is talking about the internal political issues that are going in the Pakistan. So I will not advise you to go in this particular article. Then rebooting the codes. Criminal law may need reform but not new and unfamiliar names. So guys, already we have taken this particular article in detail on the Saturday, where we have seen this particular thing, that government has proposed new bills to replace the Indian Penal Code, Indian Evidence Act and the Criminal Procedure Code. They are being replaced by Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita, they are being replaced by Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Samhita, okay, and Bharatiya Sakshya Bill. Now article is talking about that why you have brought the unfamiliar names. Okay, so that is not needed, though reform is needed in the in this particular thing. Okay, so this is something that has happened here. However guys, I will not advise you to go too much in detail in this thing right now, because as the bill will be passed in the act, then you need to go too much in detail, because till then there might be the changes that will come in this particular line. Then further moving on, Dalit Christians exclusion by society. We'll take this particular article for the examination. Then further a scientific survey at Gyanvapi. We'll see this particular article, not important for the examination. So recently the Supreme Court has directed the ASI to conduct a detailed survey of Gyanvapi. Again guys, important substance has not been given here. Then further moving on, text and the context section. Now in text and context, we have some good articles for the exam point of view. We have one article here, Bulldozing the Law and the Constitution. Now this particular article is explaining the procedure established, the due process of law and the procedure established by law, and how that particular dimension fits up in this bulldozer justice that is going on. But we don't need to politicize this issue, we need to see it just in academic capacity. We'll take it up. Then further, is the US-Iran hostage swap finally materializing? Okay, so basically guys, we have seen that there are some of the American citizens that have been imprisoned in Iran, and on this particular direction the USA and Iran were negotiating for quite a long time. Okay, so basically in this particular thing there was the deal, okay, that USA will remove some of the sanctions, will allow Iran to access some of their money which have been seized by the US because of the US sanction, and Iran will release the prisoners. So it is talking about the status that is going on in this particular direction. So recently Iran has moved these five from prison to house arrest. Okay, however, again, no need to go and track too much that. Then here we have one article, why is India's defense ministry ditching Microsoft Windows for Maya OS? So what is this Maya operating system? All that particular detail we will take here. Okay, then further moving on, Haryana Mahapanchayat decides to resume Yatra in Nu on August 28. Much important things have not been given here for the exam point of view, so directly we'll be moving. Unviable Arunachal Hydel project given to Central PSU. Okay, so basically guys, the article is talking about, fine, that there have been the three, basically what has happened, 12 of the hydropower projects in Arunachal Pradesh. Fine, they have been handed to 3 of the central PSUs because they were economically not very much viable. Okay, so basically here we can see this particular thing, that Satluj Jal Vidyut Nigam, Northeast Electric Power Corporation, and then NHPC now will be handling the project, sorry. But again guys, are you required to go too much in that detail? Not very much needed for the exam, because exam specific dimension has not been there. Then India China to hold military talks today. So basically guys, these are the 19th round of core commander talks that will now be held. Now basically we have seen this thing that since 2020 the confrontation between India and China have increased, and in the Galwan Valley, then after that on multiple patrolling points there were the confrontations. Now to resolve that thing, the military these core commander level talks, they happened. This is the 19th round that is going on up till now. Though there have been few important achievements that, but largely the issue has not been resolved. Again, moving on, are you required to follow this particular talks and outcome? No. Why? Because by the time your exam will come, many more rounds will be held, and every such round of talks is not needed. If some important development has come, then you need to go there. Then further moving on, IAF airlifted 68,000 personnel from Ladakh and all such things. Here we have an article, Yelagiri Hut shelters. Now in the prelims, such kind of questions have been asked in the past. So we'll take this particular article. After that guys, ban on non-vegetarian hotels, not possible here. Supreme Court proposes permanent security unit for all the courts. So we have seen in the past that there are many of the gangster attacks, shootings, etc. that have happened in the court premises. This particular thing has become a very big concern because multiple such incidents have happened in last 1 year. So Supreme Court has proposed a permanent security unit, which will be guarding the court premises. Okay, then further moving on. After that guys, today is Monday, so on Monday we don't have economy page, we have this business money wise page. Now this money wise page contains a note on investing and delayed gratification. So it largely contains the advices related to investment, stock market, fine and all such kind of things. For exam, again, no need to go and follow this particular thing, fine. Then further we have the world page. On the world page, 2 militants killed in Pakistan. China vows forceful reply over Taiwan VP's US visit. 7 including baby killed in Ukraine's Kherson. So again, moving on, understand this particular thing, that as we have this world page, international page. So here the articles which pertain to some India's foreign policy or India's international interest, or some kind of a deal between India and some other country, that is you need to see. Developments going on in every country, okay, not important. Then we have the sports page. So this is, guys, the overview of entire newspaper, and the intention is to give you an idea how to identify and skim through the paper. Now let's discuss the relevant articles one by one in the detail. Now so this is the synoptic notes that you can download from our Telegram channel. Okay, link for channel is given in description box in YouTube. Now every class we take a GS quotation, and the idea of this GS quotation is to give you the content that you can use in your examination. So today we'll take the quotation from Kofi Annan. So Mr. Kofi Annan says that gender equality is more than a goal in itself. It is a precondition for meeting the challenge of reducing poverty, promoting sustainable development, and building good governance. So gender equality is more than a goal in itself. Okay, it is not basically, gender equality has basically, it is goal, and at the same time it is also means. It is also means. It is a goal as well as means. Means to what? Means to reduce the poverty, means to promote the sustainable development. Now guys, understand this particular thing. One idea I want to give you here: idea of feminization of poverty. Idea of feminization of poverty. Now according to the UN Women, it provides this particular thing, that poverty disproportionately affects the women. Okay, women have been called as the poorest of the most poor on terms of the gender. Now understand this thing: if we don't give the gender equality, if we don't give equality to women in the workplaces, if we don't improve the female labor force participation rate, how the poverty will be reduced? Because these women will never be getting economic mobility, these women will never be getting economic empowerment. So through gender equality, the poverty can directly be tackled, then it will promote sustainable development, good governance. All will depend on gender equality. Now this particular idea can be used with respect to the GS paper number 1 as well as GS paper number 2, women related issues, society and social justice. So that is about this particular thing. And now guys, let's take the first article for the today. First article for today. So first article: 14 states yet to join education scheme. So before going on in this particular article, I want to give you some of background information, and then we'll go in this article. So basically, National Education Policy 2020 is the third education policy of India. First education policy came in 1968. Then second education policy came in 1986. It got amended in 1992. And after the gap of nearly after more than 30 years, we came out with the National Education Policy 2020. Now National Education Policy 2020 aims to reform the school education as well as the higher education. School education as well as higher education. Many reforms at both the levels have been proposed. For example, at school education, it provides that right now the 10+2 system, 10+2 curriculum system that prevails in the education, it will be replaced by 5+3+3+4. Right now, you know, okay, that for the classes 1 to 10, we have one curriculum, and for classes 11 and 12, we have other set of curriculum, 10+2 system. It will be replaced by 5+3+3+4. Okay, so basically guys, for different age groups, there will be the different curriculum, because a child's mental development is different in different age groups. So therefore that has been done. Vocation has been proposed. For example, coding etc. will be taught to the students after the 6th class onwards. Many such reforms are there, and I have also made a detailed video on NEP 2020. It is on the channel. You can go and you can watch it also. Now when we talk about higher education, guys, understand this particular thing, that right now if we talk about the enrollment ratios in the higher education, it stands around 27%, and we want to improve the enrollment in higher education from 27% to at least 50%. There are a lot of reforms that are needed into the higher education. For example, premier institutions have to be given autonomy, graded autonomy concept. Then there are also the problems that the institutions, sometimes infrastructure are not there in the higher education, sometimes faculties are not there, sometimes they are teaching the redundant courses. So a lot of reforms in the higher education, universities, colleges have to be made, and many number of times reforms are not possible because of the lack of financing, lack of funding. So so therefore the funding is needed, and for that particular thing government has come out with a scheme, that is PM Usha. So government has come out with the scheme, that is PM Usha. PM Usha. Now under this PM Usha scheme, what will be happening? Under this PM Usha scheme, center government will fund the state governments. Center government will fund the state governments so that the state governments can bring reform in their higher educational institutions. Understand this thing, it is not for the school education, it is for the higher educational institution. Such kind of a questions often come in the prelims examination also, so you need to be very much careful. Now, how much money will be given? And now exact number is not needed, but where the money will be used, that is important. We will take that particular thing. So basically guys, understand this thing. Okay. Now under this particular development, what will happen? Under this particular development, what will happen? So basically stage number one, the states and the union territories, they have to sign a memorandum of understanding with the Union Education Ministry that they are ready to implement the new education policy 2020 and its commitment. So first is signing of MOU. Second stage, what will happen? State government will shortlist universities, colleges where they want to bring the first round of reforms. And third, what will happen? The education ministry will evaluate the proposal and then approve these projects, and then money will be given so that the institutions, universities that they have reformed, they can upgrade them. Okay, this is something that is going to happen. Okay, now guys, understand this particular thing, that under this PM Usha scheme, the money that will be given, first of all, around 13,000 crore rupees, 13,000 crore rupees will be given over the period of 23-24 to 25-26. Okay, 13,000 crore rupees will be given, though the number is not important, and that money will be used to improve the quality of state universities. Curriculum will be improved, program changes will be made. Some programs might not be catering the needs of the 21st century, so those changes will be made. For teacher training, that money will be used. In fact, national education policy have specifically emphasized on the teacher education and training. Then after that, physical and digital infrastructure is to be upgraded in these universities and colleges. Fine. For accreditation programs, affiliation program, that money can be used. Okay, so all these particular things, and at the same time, equity, access, inclusion, this needs to be the core area, this needs to be the focus area. Okay, now basically problem that is coming is that up till now approximately 14 states and union territories have not joined this scheme. I've told you that in first stage they have to sign the MOU with the government, but right now 14 states have not signed MOU and they are not joining it. Why? Because it has been provided by these particular states that 40% of the expenses, fine, though 13,000 crore rupees is being given, but apart from that, additional money has to be pooled by the state government also, and in total 40% of the expenses are to be borne by the states, and the state government says that they need more money from the center government for the implementation of the PM Usha scheme. According to them, the funding that is around 13,000 crore rupees that is being given, it is less. More funding is to be given, and many states such as the Kerala, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, these are the states which have not signed the MOU for the PM Usha up till now with the Ministry of Education. So this is something that you need to understand, these particular things. Now this MOU, apart from the condition, apart from the now see, two things are there. Number one, where you will use the money. You will use the money on all the areas that we have discussed above. But at the same time, the states also have to agree in that MOU, memorandum of understanding that they have to sign. They also have to agree that they will undertake the administrative changes, academic changes, accreditation level changes, governance reforms, all the reforms that have been suggested by NEP. They will implement those changes. Even the state government, some of them, they have problem with that. They say that actually they need to have a considerable autonomy in deciding what aspects of NEP they want to implement, what aspects of NEP they don't want to implement. So this is something that has happened. Okay, there was also an academic credit bank. Okay, entry exit flexibility in the higher courses, all these particular things are to be implemented. Now what is this academic credit bank? I will understand you. And what is entry exit flexibility? Let me understand you this particular thing. Earlier system, guys, was like this. Suppose I have taken admission in Delhi University in the BCom course. Okay, now BCom degree is, let's say, of 3 years. Only if I will complete these 3 years, after the 3 year, I will get a degree that I have completed the BCom. What if I leave after 1 year? What if I leave after 2 years? I will not get anything. I am simply 12th pass out. Now the NEP has changed this particular system. NEP provides this particular thing that, see, for example, you can complete 1 year in some institution, you will get some credit for that. For example, I completed 1 year of BCom in Delhi University. Then I dropped out of the BCom. Then I started doing the BSc course. I did 1 year there. Fine. I dropped out then. Then, guys, I took admission, let's say, in the BCA course, Bachelor of Computer Science. I did 1 year. I dropped out of that. If earlier system would have been there, I'm simply 12th pass out. I don't have any kind of qualification degree, nothing. But now I completed 1 year in BCom. I can exit. I will get some credit. I did the BSc. I will exit. I will get some credit. BCA, I will exit, I will get some credit. So there is a credit bank that will be created. There will be flexible entry norms and exit norms. Okay, through lateral entry, you can join a course, you can exit from that course, you have to be given the credit. All these reforms have to be implemented by the state government as per the NEP. Okay, so they have to sign an MOU on this particular direction. So I hope, guys, that you have understood this particular idea, particularly the background information and the associated information that is important. Now, moving on to the next article. Moving on to the next article. So we have this article, why is India's defense ministry ditching Microsoft Windows for Maya OS? Maya means illusion, OS means operating system. So basically, guys, this particular article will see with respect to the GS paper number 3, cyber threats. GS paper number 3, cyber threats, and even prelims examination, there is some of the details that we will see which can be important for the examination. Now understand this particular thing, guys, that I just want to give you some background information. In 2020, a cyber security firm, organization by the name of FireEye, which is now called as Trellix, it released a report, and in this particular report it provided that the USA's Homeland Security Department, USA's Department of Homeland Security, their computers have been compromised, their computers have been infected with the malware. And by that particular thing, they provided that actually in the Microsoft's operating system, Windows operating system that are being used, there are some vulnerabilities, and these vulnerabilities advantage have been taken by the hackers, and they are stealing the confidential information. So understand this thing, if USA Homeland Security's department's computers got compromised, then the other countries are also vulnerable for that particular thing. And since 2020, Ministry of Defense has also seen that there have been the increase in the malware attacks, okay, virus attacks that have happened on the computer systems of the three forces, the Defense Ministry, etc. So therefore, the government has decided that we will switch from the Microsoft Windows operating system and we will build our own operating system. So this operating system now we have built, and now the Defense Ministry has started using this operating system. This operating system is called as the Maya. Fine, Maya. Now let's understand some of the basic information. One more thing, guys, I advise you this thing, that see, I will not advise you to go and read this particular article specifically. Why? Because this article 98% of the focus of this particular article is actually telling you how the Windows operating system works, the computing behind the Windows operating system. For example, it is telling that when we talk about the Microsoft operating system, it runs on the Windows NT kernel, and the NT kernel, who developed it, okay, and how it works, all that particular thing, which is not at all important for the UPSC examination. Fine. So the computing mechanics are not something that we need to see. However, other important information is not given in this particular article, so that we have provided here in this particular notes. So only for this article, I will not advise you to read the article, rather I will advise you to read this synoptic notes only. Okay, so let's understand that particular thing. So this Maya operating system, it is a new operating system that has been developed by the Union Ministry of Defense to protect its computer systems for the cyber attacks. Now this is based on the Ubuntu platform, and Ubuntu platform is based on Linux, okay. So we have for example Microsoft, then we have Apple's iOS, then we have Linux. So it is based on Ubuntu platform, which is based on the Linux. Now when we talk about this particular Maya operating system, this Maya operating system has a very important feature, that is a Chakravyuh. Now what is this Chakravyuh? Chakravyuh is endpoint anti-malware and antivirus software which can deter any cyber attack, any malware attack that is being made onto the computers of the Ministry of Defense. So this Chakravyuh is an antivirus, endpoint anti-malware, antivirus software that is there, so which can prevent the users from the hackers. Then further, guys, one more important thing I want to tell you here is that this particular operating system right now will only be used by the Defense Ministry and not the three forces. So keep this particular thing in mind. Right now it will only be used into the Defense Ministry. Okay, so the currently it is being rolled out only in the Ministry of Defense and not on the three services as of now. Now when we talk about this particular operating system, who has actually built this operating system? So basically a team of experts from DRDO, that is Defense Research and Development Organization, CDAC, that is Center for Development of Advanced Computing, NIC, National Informatics Center, they have worked and has developed this Maya operating system. Now one more thing, this particular thing guys, that this is very much similar to the Microsoft operating system in terms of its interface, so that the users don't face a problem. Okay, so it is not entirely new, very much similar to the Microsoft, and it also supports a lot of Microsoft applications, for example Microsoft Office, Adobe, Photoshop, AutoCAD, and this particular operating system also offers the features as the cloud storage, encryption of information, digital signature, biometric authentication, all these particular things. Now on these particular directions, there can be a MCQ question that can be made in the prelims examination. For example, recently Maya operating system has been adopted by the Ministry of Defense, so they can give you options. It supports digital signature, it supports cloud storage, then there can be a question that how many statements are correct. Okay, so these are the specific features that have to be kept in mind for the prelims examination. So that is all guys about it. I hope you have understood this article, and now moving to the next article. Bulldozing the Law and the Constitution. Now this particular article will see with respect to GS paper number 2, issues related to polity, governance and constitution. Now this particular article, now first of all, some basic background information that you anyhow be knowing also. So basically guys, recently we have seen that the communal clashes broke in New Gurugram region of Haryana. After these communal clashes, what has happened? We have seen the response of the government of Haryana. Government of Haryana has started bulldozing the houses of the people who were suspected to have participated in these communal clashes. Now this is a kind of a pattern that has been used in multiple of the state governments, that whenever such kind of incidents happen, on the basis of the prima facie information, on the basis of the preliminary information, government started bulldozing these houses. Now one particular thing is that guys, government justifies these particular demolitions on the basis of that they were the illegal structures, that they were the illegal structures. Now, when we talk about the illegal structures, even then, there has been a very clear ruling by the judiciary that you have to give the notice. Only after the notice you can demolish even the illegal structures. Now, often governments, what they do, they issue a backdated notice. For example, they will issue a notice from the date of June and said that we have given it, now we are demolishing these houses. In the case of Haryana, the same day notice was given and the same day demolitions happened. In the judiciary has specifically said many number of times that actually there are many illegal structures. Even in the posh colonies of Delhi, illegal structures are there. Why you are not demolishing them? Why only these homes are being demolished? So this is something that goes on. Now guys, understand this thing. Please don't see this issue with some political lens. Just academically we need to see it. Now basically guys, see this particular thing, that what has happened, the Punjab and Haryana High Court has taken the cognizance of this particular case, and Punjab and Haryana High Court had said this particular thing, that is this exercise the exercise of ethnic cleansing. Is ethnic cleansing being carried out by the state in the name of the demolition? So what is this ethnic cleansing and whether it comes in the prerogative of Indian law or not? So basically, ethnic cleansing is not being defined anywhere in the IPC, Indian Penal Code. It is not defined. However, the first use of the word ethnic cleansing was done by the UN appointed Commission of Experts of 1992. And when we talk about the ethnic cleansing, what is ethnic cleansing as per this UN Commission of Experts? It provides that ethnic cleansing is a purposeful policy which is specifically designed to remove an ethnic group or religious group by violent and by terror inspired means. And within the ethnic cleansing, they said that there could be the terror, there could be the direct attacks, there can also be the arrest of people of a particular religion, particular ethnicity, or there can be detention of these people, or can be the destruction of property. So basically this destruction of property has happened in this case. So therefore it is being said. It could also be like forcible removal, displacement of some specific people of one particular religion, one particular ethnicity. So is it the ethnic cleansing that is going on? Now, the High Court, Punjab and Haryana High Court has also taken cognizance of this particular matter. They say that first of all, you are not issuing them notice. You have issued sometimes backdated notice, sometimes you are issuing the same day notice and carrying the demolition on the same day. You have to give time to a person that if even it is illegal structure, they have right that they can make their representation in case. Once you demolish the house, then that person is even reaching the court. What remedy can be given? Now, High Court provides this particular thing that we have Article 21. And Article 21 talks about right to life and personal liberty. And this Article 21 is a very wide, expansive article. Very widely this particular article has been interpreted by judiciary in the past. And it is being said that by demolishing the houses, Article 21 is getting violated. Under Article 21, there is word procedure established by law that has to be followed. Whether procedure established by law followed or not. Even Supreme Court, you might be knowing this thing already. Supreme Court even have expanded the domain of Article 21. It says that Article 21 is not only based on the procedure established by law, rather it is based on due process of law. It is based on due process of law. Now, what is the difference between procedure established by law and due process of law? Procedure established by law simply means law says do X, you do X. Fine. You don't consider that whether doing X is just or not, whether doing X is ethical or not. If law says you can do X, you can do X. Fine. But due process of law, we even see that the law, is it just? The law, is it just? The law, is it ethical? We also see that particular thing. So even if law provides that you can demolish the house, you also need to question the law, that whether this law is just. So due process of law. But due process of law is not being followed. Now it has been provided that when we talk about the Constitution of India, fine, rule of law is the basic feature of Indian Constitution. Rule of law, not the rule by law. Rule by law is not there. We follow rule of law. What is rule by law? Rule by law is when the law is used as an instrument of suppression, oppression. when a law is being used as a specific tool to suppress a particular type of a people. So in India, we follow rule of law, not the rule by law. Fine. Now, when we talk about Haryana, it has been said that in Haryana, once government did this particular thing, even the villages, the panchayats in villages, they have also decided to boycott one particular religious community economically. It has been said that yes, though there were some mischievous people who were there were some kind of an elements who were anti-social, who have done this particular thing, but simply every person of this religion is being targeted simply because incidentally they were born in a religion. It is not just. Even if we talk about Constitution of India, fraternity is a constitutional goal. How a fraternity can be practiced when such kind of things are going on? So Justice Bobde's Chief Justice S.A. Bobde's one quote is there: justice must never take the form of revenge. Justice must never take the form of revenge. This is something that is needed to be kept in mind. So that is all, guys, about this particular article. I hope that you have understood it. And now moving to the next article. Dalit Christians exclusion by society, church, state. Now, what is this article? First of all, before going on in this particular article, you need to have some basic information. Because if you don't have, you might not be able to make sense of this article directly. Okay, so let's take that particular basic information first of all. Okay, now understand this particular thing, that as we talk about India, we provide reservation to people on basis of their social status. We give scheduled caste 15% reservation. We give scheduled tribe 7.5% reservation. We give OBCs 27% reservation. Total 49.5% reservation is given on basis of social backwardness of people, on basis of their social status. However, government is also giving 10% additional reservation to economically weaker section, and this has also been ruled as legal by Supreme Court. As of now, we total give 59.5% reservation, but this reservation is largely on economic backwardness. This reservation is largely on social backwardness. So this is reservation that we are giving. Now understand this particular thing, that people who are Dalit, they have been treated with a lot of injustice in past, and Dalit are therefore given reservation. Fine, Dalit, they come under the scheduled caste category. Okay, now understand this particular thing, that in past, many people who were Dalit, they have converted to other religion. For example, Dalits, they have converted to Sikhism. Okay, they have converted to Buddhism. They have also converted to Islam, Christianity. Okay, now understand this particular thing. Once Dalit converted to another religion, after the conversion, whether untouchability that happened against them, it goes down. Whether discrimination that happens against them, it goes down. Does it goes down or it stays the same? So in past, multiple commissions such as Justice Rangnath Mishra Commission, fine, they have provided, even after a person has converted to another religion, fine, discrimination continues with that person. Okay, these people still after conversion also have to be given reservation benefit. Okay, in this particular direction, fine, basically, first of all, when we talk about Dalit people, according to Constitution Order of 1950, Dalits are only within Hinduism. So Dalits who are in Hinduism, only they will get the scheduled caste status and scheduled caste reservation. This was the original position of the Constitution Order. But this Constitution Order has been amended multiple times. For example, in 1956, it was allowed that the Dalit people who converted to Sikhism, they can avail SC reservation. Fine. So in 1956 means Dalit who are Hindus and Sikh convert Dalits. Fine, means earlier they were Hindu, now they have converted to Sikh. They can also get the SC status. Then 1990, Again, amendment was brought, and through this amendment, it was said that even Dalit who converted to Buddhism, they will also continue to get the SC status. They will also continue to get the SC status. This is something that the government has done. Now a question comes, what about people? What about people who converted to? What about people who converted to Islam and Christianity? What about them? What about them? Will they get SC status after conversion also? So up till now, multiple commissions, for example, Justice Rangnath Mishra Commission, fine, Commission on Backwardness, many commissions have suggested that they should also get, but government has not given it. Government has not given it. In October 2022, this matter was to be heard by Supreme Court. This matter was to be heard by Supreme Court, that why you have not done that particular thing. But before Supreme Court would have ruled on this matter in any capacity, what government did? What government did? Government constituted KG Balakrishnan Commission. KG Balakrishna Commission. And this commission was given a 2-year timeline. This commission was given 2-year timeline that you study that what social change comes when a Dalit person has converted to Islam or when he has converted to Christianity, and whether we should give them SC status after conversion or not. One thing again I am telling you here, that earlier multiple commissions have recommended that you should give. So this KG Balakrishnan Commission has been constituted, and it was constituted in 2022, was given the timeline of 2 years, that is by 2024, it will come and will submit the report. However, if you are following a newspaper regularly, we have seen one report, one article also. KG Balakrishnan Commission's chairman, Mr. KG Balakrishnan, said that we can give you our final recommendation even before 2024, the elections also, but government simply said that you should do it within 2 years again. Okay, now, so this is some basic information that you need to have first. Only then this editorial will make some sense now. I hope that this basic information you have got it. And now let's read this article. And one thing, guys, I want to tell you that I am very thankful to all comments as well as likes that you leave on our video. I'm really grateful to you, and I'm very thankful. Please keep on supporting us in the same way. Now, okay, so this is some basic information that you need to have. So we know this particular thing, that last year Union government constituted this as KG Balakrishnan Commission, and to study that whether it is possible to give SC status to Dalit Christians, Dalit Muslims are also to be considered here. Okay, one more thing. Now guys, recently what has happened, a resolution has been adopted by Tamil Nadu Assembly to amend the 1950 presidential order, that is that constitution order of 1950, and they are proposing that we intend to give Dalit Christians SC status. We intend to give. So they have adopted this resolution that we intend they should be given. Now, point that comes here is that basically we see this particular thing. National Commission of Minorities in the past already provided that there is no compelling evidence to justify denying them SC status. No evidence is there, you have to give them. It has been provided that actually you need to understand what is reason people converted to Christianity. The reason that they converted to Christianity was they wanted to escape horrors of discrimination, and it is believed that Christianity as a religion, it is more egalitarian, it is more equal. Such discrimination is not there, and in such expectation people converted. Okay, now there is one concept, that is theory of intersectionality. Now first of all, let me explain you what is the concept of intersectionality. Intersectionality's concept simply means that when there is intersection of multiple identities that happens, a person's vulnerability increases more. For example, suppose there is a woman. Now that woman is vulnerable because of her gender. Fine, yes, she is vulnerable. Now there is another woman. She is a Dalit woman. Now she is vulnerable for two things. Number one, because of her gender, and number two is because of her caste. Can you say that a high caste woman and the Dalit women both are equally vulnerable? No. The second woman is vulnerable because of two things, caste and gender. First woman is vulnerable because of only one thing, only gender. The point is that multiple number of times, multiple identities converge, multiple identities intersection happens, and that intersection increases a person's vulnerability. So here it says that when you talk about the Dalit Christians, Dalit Christian, first of all, they are Dalit, therefore they are vulnerable. Second, they are Christians. Now Christians are a minority. Christians are minority. Dalits themselves, they come into the lower part of the caste. So Dalit Christians are actually more vulnerable than other Dalits, or simply the people who are Christian. So it has been said that normally it is assumed that Dalit Christian is an oxymoron. What is oxymoron? When two words which are entirely different in meaning, when they are kept together, it is called as oxymoron. Okay. For example, there is word love jihad. Now, love and jihad. Jihad is based on an element of disgust, and love is based on an element of embracement. So, love jihad is called as oxymoron because love is entirely something different, jihad is something entirely different. The same way, Dalit Christian, people say it is an oxymoron. Why? Because Dalit means subjugation. Christianity is based on equality. So, how they can exist? But it says that no, it has been provided that a Hindu Dalit, after the conversion to Christianity, people say he ceases to be Dalit. But no, even after conversion, a Hindu Dalit is prone to discrimination. People will discriminate him, number one, because he was Dalit. Secondly, because he converted to another religion, people will show more hatredness, more disgust against this particular person. Now here, there is one example of Sosai versus Union of India case that has been given. Sosai versus Union of India case that was given. Here what happened, a Dalit Catholic shoemaker, a Dalit Christian, he moved to Supreme Court and asked for extension in setting up a kiosk on a platform. Okay, basically an equal platform was given. He also wanted that. Supreme Court dismissed, said that that we cannot give because you don't belong to the Dalit caste. So basically that Dalitness of this person, backwardness of this person was ignored. So single access, simply you see a person Dalit in context of religion, that single framework access, that is a flawed concept, and more comprehensively with the concept of intersectionality, this is to be seen according to this particular article. I hope guys that you have understood it, and this concept of intersectionality and the background that particularly we discussed is very important for the examination. Moving on. Yelagiri Hut shelters 200 years of hill tribe history. Now, this particular article is talking about the Yelagiri. This article is talking about the Yelagiri my mistake, Yelagiri Hut shelters. Now, guys, if you see this particular, let me zoom it for you. Fine. So here you can see this particular structure where we have this hut. This hut has a thatched roof. Okay, this hut we can see it is actually made on a base. It has been little bit elevated from the ground. Okay, here you can see that we have a hut. This is a single room hut. Now this particular hut was used by tribal people in Tamil Nadu to store their food, to store their grains, as well as to live. So this single room hut were used in past. What has happened? In past, many people who were earlier tribal people, now they have replaced these huts with concrete modern houses. But still there is one hut that is surviving in Tamil Nadu. And this article is telling the features of that particular hut and all such kind of things. Now in prelims examination, such kind of questions have been asked in the past, that Yelagiri Hut was recently in news. It is where? Is it in Tamil Nadu? Is it in Kashmir? Is it in Nagaland? Is it in Gujarat, wherever, and some other related informations about this structure we are going to see for prelims, art and culture, history, and such kind of questions. Now, let's understand the basic information and the aspects related to this particular article. So basically, guys, these huts, okay, so these huts were used more than 2 centuries ago. more than 200 years ago in 1800s. These huts were used, and these huts were used by Malayali tribal people. Malayali tribal people. Now, what is the meaning of the word Malayali? Okay, so Malay means hill and Yali means people. So Malayali means hill people, people living in the hill, tribes living in the hill. And these huts that I have just shown you, they were used as an all-encompassing system for shelter. People will live here. It will be used for storage of grains. It will be used to store their farming equipments, also for cattle rearing. This was a single room hut that was used for all these particular people. Initially, they used to make these makeshift huts, but now they are not using it. These particular huts, they were used by using the red loam clay, which is abundant in this particular region. Now these huts are not being made, so they used red loam clay. Also they used dry bamboo leaves. Okay, thatched roof is there. Now this roof was waxed with the cow dung, and by that it became waterproof. And did not leak during the rain. And this particular hut might look small from the outside, but it was sufficient to house at least 8 people, and as well as there was a specific section to store pots and other household items. Now, one very important feature of this particular huts, mud house, they are also called as moon vidu. Okay, also called as andara kotai. Moon vidu means mud house, and andara kotai means storage facility. So I told you that storage facility was integrated in these huts. Okay, is that they were made they were based on stilt like structures, teak wood. Okay, now if you see here, it is standing on the structures. These structures are made up of the teak wood. Okay, and also it was deliberately raised at least 2 feet above the ground, so that rodents, mouse, etc., they can be kept at a distance. They don't enter in the house. Okay, so this is, guys, all about it. Fine. And also it saved them from flooding, rains, everything. Fine. So that is all, guys, about this particular article. And now the main practice question. So question says, explain the objectives of the Pradhan Mantri Uchchatar Shiksha Abhiyan, that is PM Usha scheme. So this will be the GS paper number 2, 10 marker question for education. Fine. There is a question, sir, how about that from September we can't download Hindu PDF? Sham, your question is not clear. Okay, fine. So this is, guys, all about this particular session. I hope that you have understood this article, and guys, I am really thankful to all of you who every day spare some time and leave your lovely comments. I read every single of your comment. Please keep on commenting on the videos. Please keep on liking the video as you are doing right now. That is very important for this initiative, and by your support we will also be coming out with some another initiatives also. Okay, fine. So that is all for today, and now we'll be meeting tomorrow. Till then, please take care of yourselves. Thank you so much.